Roll another blunt. Yeah. Oh,
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head.
Stephen A. Smith was talking out his about Jonathan Kuminga.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the I'm talking about.
It seems the final piece of the puzzle has arrived. About a month ago, I released a video with some comments by Stephen A. Smith about Jonathan Kuminga. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you have to fact check your rumors. Yes, give some credence to certain individuals, but never take their word at face value. Last month, Stephen A. Smith said Jonathan Kuminga needed an attitude adjust. You know what? Let's just roll the tape.
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head. The level of discipline that he lacks. You understand? Some of the foolishness. I'm not getting in this personal business. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm talking attitude. I'm not talking actions. I'm saying that attitude, the level of focus, commitment, determination, just putting your head down, doing the work. I'm hearing that he's shortchanging the Warriors in that regard, and he got to get his act together because I'm a Jonathan Kuminga fan.
If you want to see the rest of that video, check the roll in the top right of your screen. Watch that video, then watch the second installment in the series where Andre Iguodala responds to him, which that roll should populate now in the same spot. Then come back and watch this video. If that wasn't too confusing, you're all caught up and ready to hear what's up next. Having gone through all that, come to find out, Stephen A. dug this one up straight out the loony bin. Okay, on second thought, maybe that was a poor choice of words. Fact of the matter is, considering Stephen A.'s reputation, we gave him some benefit and even speculated that he might have heard something from Joe Lacob. With the sad state of Simps these days, and just the all-round negative media when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, it was good to hear someone in old media believe in the team. I mean, it really shouldn't have taken much considering those three guys together in Steph, Clay, and Dre have a winning playoff record. It also helps that Jordan Poole was going off like a madman. I mean, there were signs everywhere that this team was not to be taken lightly. This is like Jesse Pinkman slapping tweaking Tuco levels of insanity. And what's worse is it's about to happen again this year. So, anyway, let's not get too off topic here because what you guys came here for is to get to the bottom of these comments made by Stephen A. I'm about to light a fire under this guy for unnecessarily attacking a young man that's trying to make his family, his country, and his team proud of his accomplishments. Assessing a stereotypical agenda to the kid as if Kuminga is incapable of doing right? By the way, don't get distracted by his latest comments regarding Ime Udoka. I have no intention of letting him skate by without emptying the clip. In a podcast hosted by Tim Kawakami, who works for The Athletic, Steve Kerr stated that he and Bob Myers were perplexed by the rumors about Jonathan Kuminga's alleged behavior/attitude.
I know there was that weird report that came out. I think Stephen A. Smith said something about JK, and honestly, Bob and I, when that came out, we called each other and asked each other, like, where did that come from? Because it made no sense, because JK's been great. He's done everything we've asked of him. He's working hard. I enjoy coaching him. He's right where he needs to be, and it's just, he's got to just keep getting better every day. But we're very happy with his summer and everything he committed to.
My first thought on this is Stephen A. Smith.
Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. And you getting busted for using weed. You can't stay off the weed. Stay off the weed.
My second reaction was,
stay off the damn weed.
Staking your reputation on the line for a few clicks?
What?
I hope it makes dollars, because that definitely doesn't make sense. We've already discussed on this channel the issue with sports news today is that it's no longer news. and a lot of times no longer sports. Instead of reporting on the facts surrounding the players and their abilities on the court, we've begun to spread misinformation to generate interest. That, along with the favoritism and narrative-driven opinions, are the main reasons why mainstream media is crumbling. 2 days after those comments were made, Jonathan Kuminga made a post on Instagram stating, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard," showing that he is the type of prospect that not only believes in himself, but believes in the work that it takes to become great. Meaning he's most definitely not shortchanging himself, therefore not shortchanging the Warriors, as Stephen A. Smith explicitly stated. Kuminga clearly believes in the grind, and although he was born as a talented individual, knows that relying on your talent alone will not get you far in the NBA, as the league is full of talented players. So, that's 2 stinging responses from reputable members of the Warriors franchise counting Iguodala. This is especially infuriating coming from Stephen A. for a number of reasons, with one of the biggest being the fact that, as I said before in my prior videos, he's somewhat of a close friend of Joe Lacob. I also said in the prior video that if he heard it from anyone, it would have been him. But considering the shock of both Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, who else would Lacob have been getting this from? This frenemy type of action by Stephen A. is a slap across the face, if we're being honest. The next issue is that over the years, Stephen A. had bought himself into the Warriors franchise as a supporter. You'll see him on ESPN on any given day talking about the Warriors. But I've realized it has nothing to do with his support for the team and everything to do with his talking points.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Yes, this means there's likely a bigger issue at stake here, and it has nothing to do with whether or not he's confident the Warriors are going to win. No one else voices any support for the Dubs because on ESPN, that's Stephen A.'s domain. Believe it or not, the Warriors franchise is a pretty big deal. Talking about the Warriors will get you noticed on the small screen as well as on the big screen. I'm sure you guys have seen a number of small channels that have cropped up over the last few months following the Warriors winning the championship. These guys are cashing in on the payday, and a number of them are simply using paid AI to generate content and feed it to the fan base. I won't name drop any channels, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. That said, this is what works for the big corporations as well. It's all about generating the clicks and capitalizing on the attention. None of them are true fans of the team, just fans of the marketability of the team. So, how do I know this to be true? Think about it. Reason 1, Stephen A. could have made something up about any other team in the league, but he chose to make up something to say about the Warriors. Stephen A. saying anything related to the Warriors garners clicks. It might have even been the reason you clicked this video. He knew this would get picked up and plastered everywhere. Reason 2, did you see how quickly he picked up the Ime Udoka scandal? He is front and center like Jokic on a fast break, making another controversial statement. This guy does not know how or when to stop chewing oxygen. Then again, getting paid baller money on ESPN probably makes running your mouth a sport, which Stephen A. is obviously well clear of the competition. What I will say, however, is that this isn't exactly surprising, considering some of the things Stephen A. has said recently. While he was rolling with the Splash Brothers, he essentially made it clear he believes the Warriors just got lucky when he insinuated that any one of Jay Will or Perk could have been right and it just happened to be him. While this is true to some degree, these are all individuals that get paid a lot of money to comment on these things. But there you have it. These guys aren't here to support a team, so don't fall for the bluster. He's just another simp, just like the rest of them. But through all this, there is one very important point we have barely rim grazed. That would be, well, has Joe Lacob has anything to say about this? So I searched and found some rather interesting conversations that took place, and this should put this Jonathan Kuminga situation into perspective, put these shenanigans to rest, and shut Stephen A. up for good. Okay, that third one will likely never happen, but we can at least get 2 out of 3. After the Warriors won the championship, Joe Lacob went on Iguodala's and Evan Turner's Point Forward podcast. Yes, this was the same podcast that got Joe Lacob fined $500,000 for comments he made during the segment talking about the luxury tax and how unfair they were. How ironic. Adam Silver didn't take too kindly to Joe Lacob's comments and hit him with a nominal fee of $500,000 for the minor infraction. In addition to that comment, however, as they were discussing Kuminga, Iguodala heaped praise onto Kuminga, to which Joe responded.
Kuminga has got all the talent in the world. We know if he can just line up everything the way he
tell
should.
our coach that so he plays him.
Why don't you tell the coach that so he plays him? Man, Joe Lacob is all of us. He wants to see Kuminga thrive and succeed. He wants to see these young guys get minutes on the floor. And while he says he's kidding, he's not. He is serious. This interview was held on July 17th of 2022. The season was already finished and the Warriors players were already out doing the most. Therefore, there was nothing that happened during any particular NBA game that would cause Lacob to all of a sudden have a change of heart on Kuminga. Lacob wanted Kerr's head for not giving JK enough minutes to fast track his development, so that clearly wasn't about to happen. JK currently has the backing of the entire Warriors brass behind him. They all believe in what they've seen and what they expect from him in the upcoming years. We've heard from Iguodala, his mentor, Steve Kerr, his coach, Bob Myers, and Joe Lacob. No one has any clue where Stephen A got this rumor from, except Stephen A. Smith himself. Hopefully, this will only serve to motivate Kuminga moving forward as he takes the W this round. That's 2 W's in 2022 for Jonathan Kuminga. Meanwhile, handing over this exquisite L to ESPN's most vocal mouthpiece. Did Stephen A have any right to say any of this stuff about Kuminga? What do you think of the Warriors' response? For a team like the Dubs not having much drama, this was definitely an interesting spin. Nonetheless, that's a W for the entirety of Dub Nation. Thanks for watching. Till next time, swish.